Yeah, come on!
Welcome to the Yeah Come On Show with Southside Steve.
Yeah, come on, and it's a good day. I got triple vision here, man. I got Yeah, come on all over the place. I've even got it on my hat, and I will tell you that I'm wearing my Yeah, come on underwear, but I'm going to keep it to myself. It's skimpy.
Are you wearing the boxers or the briefs?
Oh, they're not even briefs. They're bikini. I'm bringing bikinis back from the 80s.
Some Yeah Come On Speedos?
Yes. You know what?
Summertime's here.
Summertime's here, and I'm doing butt exercises. Got to have the butt perky right now. You know, there's a slight sag in it, so I got to do what I got to do. Getting older here. We are in the Exit Wealth studios right now. Our studios love guest, and I've got one hell of a guest to introduce you to. Also, Exit Stage Left Advisors. If you've got a business out there and you've done it for 20 or 30 years, and maybe you put your kids through college and the kids don't want to run it, they're like, no, Dad, I want to do something different. I like the fact that you were a plumber, but I don't want to do it. Or whatever it is you do, small business, big business, if it's time to sell, these guys can get you 20, 30% over asking price. Doesn't matter where you are, anywhere in the country. If you're watching this in Texas, they do more business out of Georgia than here. So that's Exit Stage Left Advisors, and of course, Exit Wealth with Ted Jenkins. Now, I want to introduce you to a dear friend and also a businessman, self-made. That would be Danny Hamilton. He's no stranger to the airwaves on 96 Rock 100.5, and you have been there for most of the big events because we stayed on your buses.
Good to be here.
I'm telling you, man, Star Coaches, I like it. It's Star Coaches. I remember when your tagline was Star Coaches, limos of the future.
That's the beginning.
That's where it all started. Yep. And now you have a new company, not just Star Coaches. And we were talking off air bands. You've got the hip hop, the rock acts, the country acts. Most of your buses stay on the road 8-9 months a year, but there are gaps where if you want one of these rock star buses, you can call.
Yeah, give us a call.
Star Coaches, and how do they reach you on that? We'll put the information up.
Well, you can call us at 404-364-0177. That's been my number for many, many years. We can work them into a bus to do all type of events. I mean, we do, we're an entertainer rock and roll tour bus company, but, we still do vacations and the Masters and golf outings and just all type of trips. Daytona 500, just had a bus over in Talladega.
Okay.
So, you can go out for 3 or 4 days, stay on the bus, and literally save money. It's not that expensive.
No, it's not, especially when you got 13, 14 people chipping in. I can tell you right now, for 10 years, I did a golf tournament in a 5-state area, and we always went on Star Coach buses, and everybody feels super cool getting on. All the clubs go underneath, bags, you're on there, you're having cocktails, you're not driving in cars, and it's a blast. And all your drivers, I will say this, all have a sense of humor, and they're cool, and they're good old boys.
Yeah, drivers kind of make it, like with anything. You got to have a driver that's fun.
Fun. Yeah, our drivers always were.
Yeah, they'll put a limit to it, but they still let you have a lot of fun.
Yeah, they will be dad if they have to be dad.
Yes.
Yes, they will, and they'll get you out of trouble. But we're bringing Danny on as a sponsor. He'll be a major sponsor, and also for the very first time, and we talk about it every once in a while, the Red, White, and Green show with Ted Jenkins and myself. That is for people that love America and love money. We don't get into politics. We have our own politics, but if you love America and you treat that flag with respect, that's good enough for us. And if you want to make money, we'll help you do that. Moving on, I just wanted to say, for what we're doing, and this is kind of cool. I always thought you had to paint your car or you get chips and you do stuff. And I see businesses and also the write-off, especially with the big new bill with Trump. You can write off your vehicle, and you have a wrapping company too. Everything plays off Star. So he's got Star Coaches, but then Wrap Star USA. Real quickly, tell me about that, because you saw the need to wrap your buses years ago instead of painting them. And these are $1 million buses.
It just come about to me the way everything does. But a friend of mine was in the wrap business, and and I like how it looked, and then I thought about numbers and what it cost. I mean, $1 million bus, you can spend $100,000 on a paint job.
I didn't know that.
The cheapest paint job on $1 million bus is probably a solid color, which is going to be between $20,000 and $30,000.
Damn.
So I started thinking about it, started seeing the colors, and I like different colors, so we just end up trying to wrap one, and instead of painting it and spending that extra $20,000 or $30,000, I brought one in with and wrapped it, and I was really impressed with it. Now I can change colors. I can change colors on my wraps, and make the buses kind of look different throughout the years. A wrap lasts me about 2 years. I've had them last as long as 4 years, but I like to change them out about every 2 years.
Yeah, and it's such a fraction of the cost. There it is. That's the bus that Danny did for us at Atlanta Motor Speedway, formerly now known as Echo Park Speedway. And there we are in the infield. And Danny has been putting a bus in the infield since 1995 with 96 Rock. And we were the first to broadcast a radio show from in the infield, and we did that all the way through the Rock 100.5 years. And those are the buses we slept on. Some are entertainment, where you've got the big living room setting and maybe a back room setting too. And then some of them have the bunks, and I like the ones with the bunks because the living room is still huge. And then you got that back room. You got the flat screens, 3 of them, so you can watch what you want to watch, and then you can spend the night, and it's a one bunk with a little light and a little mini screen in that.
And a very, very comfortable. I slept like a baby when we stayed there last summer.
You loved it. Mm-hmm. So we slept on that bus, but that bus, that was not paint. Danny, that is a wrap. Yeah. And he put the Fox FM on there. He put Exit Wealth, which we're in the Exit Wealth studios, if you see forward. And then on the door, the show was called The South Side Ride before, for the 3rd time I was removed from terrestrial radio. I'm starting to think you just be in business for yourself. These corporate guys got to figure it out. Damn. And that's what you do. So that's the wrap. And they just go to rapstarusa.com.
Yeah, rapstarusa.com. Give us a call you can call me personally. Like I say, it's a brand new business. We're just getting started, but we're starting to see business. And we just don't want to get so big that we're out of control. We want to keep every wrap personal. And make
that's nice.
And just make sure every wrap is done perfect. Whether it's a Mercedes-Benz or an old boat. It could be an old boat somebody wants to wrap.
Yeah, and I know that's the thing with boats out there on Lake Lanier. You want your boat to look good, and damn, don't spend that money on paint. You're going to spend 10 times the money. Get the wrap, and like Danny said, it's going to last you a couple of years. And guess what? You'll be ready to wrap it again and do something totally different. It just makes the boat, and it protects whatever paint you have.
That's right.
That being said, we are going to move on to people that do buy a lot of automobiles, do buy a lot of boats. They're usually viral. Some people are viral and they just pop for a second for 15 minutes. Some people are actors. Some people are politicians. I'm about to bring you a little TMZ DC on Steve MZ. Break out the Aquanet. It's time to party like it's 1983. Rockin' Taco and Synchronicity are throwing the raddest, baddest, most bodacious 80s party in town. And you get to show up looking like you stepped out of an MTV music video. It's an 80s night at Rockin' Taco, Thursday, May 7th, featuring Synchronicity and honoring the music of Sting and the Police. Hey, this is Southside Steve with the Yeah Come On Show. We will be broadcasting live. VIP room is available. VIP tickets, tables, and Gen Pop. 8 p.m. showtime in Roswell off Canton Street at Rockin' Taco. Get your tickets at therockintaco.com. Well, let's talk about it for a second. Let's talk about DC TMZ. This is kind of fun. Danny, you are political. A lot of people don't realize you have a Trump bus and that Donald Trump has been on that bus and loves the fact that you have that bus, and you were a big part of the 2016, and then you had a bus for every election, and you actually have one, I think, for 2028, if that's even possible.
Well, it is possible, yeah. You can do what you want to do with a wrap, So, yeah, I did the 2028 bus, but it was just kind of, I don't know, just to kind of get people freaking out a little bit because they have that syndrome thing going on. And
I know it.
they go crazy when I ride by with the 28 on there. But
That's funny.
we're getting ready to do the Trump bus, and another wrap is going to be get out to vote, vote red, save your country, save America. I haven't never been that political. I started voting when I was 18, but I've been independent. So I feel like I try to vote for the person I think's the best for the job. And
that's what Jeff does. I would say you're an independent, like Danny.
Yeah.
You'll vote different parties. You vote for who's best for the job.
Yeah, but the past few elections, it's come down to you can't be in the middle. If you really want to save your country and vote the right, you got to pick one side. And clearly there was one choice.
There's the one choice now. I mean, we're down to red only. If you want to save your country, save your grandkids, you want to live how we lived. I mean, will they ever live like we did? Playing in ditches and partying, having fun. No telephones, things like that. No cell phones.
Right.
The old days, bicycles. But some of you kids do. My kids, all of my kids, got to live like I grew up because I was able to do that. And but yeah, I got political, and when Trump came down the escalator, I was like, hey, I want to back that guy, and I wrapped a bus and was going to do it for a couple of months, and it's been 10 years now.
Wow.
And so going on 11 years, actually. So I got to do a lot of fun things, did about 64 Trump rallies, got to meet Trump, been to his house about 6 times, got to meet a lot of great people, just solid people. I can't really put it in words, but I got to go red from now on because I see what the Dems are doing and, obviously trying to kill our president.
That's it.
And
third try, man.
Yeah, and we don't know how many they've maybe
stopped.
Probably
20.
More. People freak out on me sometime, and I just have to keep a calm head because of my business, what I do, and I haul entertainers, and I just tell everybody the same thing. I'm going to give you 110% no matter who I support.
Right.
If you go with me with my business, you're going to get the best support. You're going to get the best drivers. You're going to get the best service. And if you'd rather not have that over because I'm a Trump supporter, then I guess you have to go somewhere else. But I haven't really seen a big difference. I mean, I still got the great customers and.
Well, you got all kinds of bands. I would say your country artists that ride in your buses and your rock artists rock artists are 50-50. Country leans 80-20, all red. And then I would say your hip hop artists could probably be 50-50 as well.
I'll be honest with you, Steve. I haven't ever seen the 50-50.
Wow.
It's always been about 70-30.
Red?
Yes.
Okay.
On the hip hop or overall?
Overall.
Okay.
Overall, with your customer base. And the 30%, I mean, I think Bon Jovi used some of your buses. He clearly votes the other way, but that's okay, John. I moved you out of my top 5 because of that. No, I'm kidding.
Yeah.
I'm not.
They don't really talk about it. I think some of the groups just don't really bring up politics. You know what I mean? They just want to do their thing, and that's the way it should be,
Well,
really.
that's the way the world used to be.
Yeah.
I didn't know how anybody voted. Nobody.
Yeah, it's got kind of weird, but it's been a great 10 years. I hope to do it a few more years. I'm hoping things, I'm the guy that believes in Trump, believes in our president. I trust him. We, all going to say, hey, fuel's high now. Fuel's been high during the Democrats, but at least now I feel like fuel's high for a reason.
For a reason.
The Green New Deal is not a reason. They're forcing you to buy a battery-operated car.
Can't do
so
that.
they want to bring fuel so expensive that you have to buy a battery.
Yeah, that was a game. That wasn't cool. That's exactly what they did, and you're right. They gave you no choice. That being said, my TMZ DC talking about the libs, we did define that there's libs and Democrats. If you're a Democrat, I can probably handle you, but if you're lib and you're just off your rocker, I can't. Yeah. But Congress is about to take 2 weeks off again.
Damn.
And they still.
What do they do all day anyway when they are working?
I don't know. And here's the other thing: Congress would not stand up for Trump. During his speech, the state address. But now you get a king in there, and they stood up. Everybody stood up for the King of England. And I thought they were into the no kings thing.
It is strange. I mean, this country, man, I tell you.
I'm like, what the hell?
I'm all about what's going on right now. I'm all about, getting, helping these folks out in Iran. And I like what happened in Venezuela. I think I'd like to get the Iran thing over as quick as possible, get on down to Cuba, get Cuba straightened out, and then we've got to do something about the cartels in Mexico.
Oh, God.
And I'm hoping they're watching them right now and getting ready to lob a few bombs over there. It sounds extreme, but with the cartel, the Mexican folks or any other country with that type of cartel will never be able to get anywhere or go anywhere because they hold their own people down and
100%.
make them live like animals so they can live like kings. And I don't know why people can't see that about the cartel.
That's
even
the no
here
kings.
in America.
Yeah, that's the no
even here in
kings.
America, we are really overrun with cartels here in America in all 50 states.
I know. They asked me to join some gang called the Weekend Warriors. I'm like, I was a member in high school. I'm not going down with that anymore. I'm not. No, but it is funny. It's not funny. You're like, man, I don't even want to know what's in Georgia, and I don't want to badmouth you guys because I don't need the heat. But the sadness, and I kind of know this guy, and Danny, I thought it was a great day to have you in too because you're a good old boy. We have a passing, Jeff, and it's David Allen Coe.
Oh, yes.
Wow, yeah.
And David Allen Coe, man, that dude, I know enough. I mean, I was always in rock. But, man, he had no problem saying what he wanted to say, doing what he wanted to do. He did not play the politically correct game at all. Confederate flags. They looked at him as a modern-day outlaw singer. And he has passed at the age of 86.
Wow.
So, Jeff, I may test you on track 13. Do we do a David Allen Coe song?
Yes, we should do a David Allen Coe song. I'm trying to think of what I would know.
I know his songs. He had The Ride. That's a hit, I guess, but not to our audience. And then you never called me by my name.
That was a big one for him. You know
any other
Jeff,
song?
when we had the Rec Room, and then we opened another little small club out on Roswell Road, right as you get off the interstate there. On Roswell Road, you'd get off and go towards away from the perimeter.
Hold on.
And we
hold
opened
on.
a beach club there.
But what? Not California's.
Yep.
Yes,
Yep.
that was
And we
you too.
Yep.
Okay, so my band Zen played there too. That's where I grew up in Sandy Springs.
Your band played Danny's Club?
Yeah, well, I didn't play in the band. I was sort of like the manager / roadie assistant. Oh yeah, we played the Rec Room many times and California's.
And California's, we had David Allen Coe.
Really?
Really?
He played there.
Yeah, that was. It didn't last very long.
No, it didn't last long. That area wasn't ready for us.
Yeah.
It wasn't ready for a Rec Room style place.
Yeah.
That is awesome, man.
It was
And
right across the street from the American Pie.
Yep.
was it?
Yeah.
We had a big volleyball court. We brought in a bunch of sand. And
Wait, I remember
it was
that.
all opened up.
That was
and-
you? I didn't even know that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was me, Toe, Jimmy. There was three of us that kind
Yeah.
of was involved with the Rec Room.
So a lot of people don't know the Rec Room at Georgia Tech, and I love the stories. Danny's like 30, 50 kegs a day, and the Rec
Every
Room
Thursday night.
Every Thursday night, you owned the Rec Room, and that is a throwback shirt. Danny wore one the other night to a concert, and everybody was losing their damn mind. Anybody that grew up in Atlanta, any city you grew up in, you remember those older bars, and they're only old because we're older.
Yes.
Well, it was kind of a college bar.
College
right?
bar.
But you had the Rec Room had a lot of like national acts.
Oh, well,
like
when I started there, when I went there with my buddy Toe and Jimmy, and brought me into the company, and they had some bad things going on. Had some guy was scamming for a lot of money, so I was able to come in and buy his part of the club out, and we were only open 1 or 2 days a week then. But I don't know anything but hard work, so next thing you know, we're open 7 days a week. So,
God, dude.
So we opened 7 days a week, and Thursday nights were huge. We could have 1,000 kids in there on Thursday nights, and we did have a record of 50 kegs. We
Wow.
did 50 kegs in one night, and
50 kegs.
and we
I
did
can't
have
imagine.
every kind of band you could imagine because the place was set up to where we would let anybody play.
Yeah.
I mean, it didn't matter.
that was one of Zen's first gigs was the Rec Room.
Right.
So you didn't look at them to see the talent level or the type of music. You're like, if you want to take the stage, we're going to let you.
Yeah, just like send a tape and a headshot, and we'll book you. See if you bring anybody. That was
Boy,
it.
we had some doozies, man.
Oh my God. I bet.
But we had major acts. We had,
Yeah.
Gigi Allen played there 3 times. Gigi Allen's a crazy man.
Oh, wow.
Well, I remember the big band at the time when we were hanging out there was Stuck Mojo.
Stuck Mojo played all the time.
I know those guys.
Nihilist. We had Saigon Kick played there.
Oh my
Saigon
God!
Kick.
Saigon
Okay.
Kick,
We can play Saigon Kick today too on track 13 because I love
Well, let's say
Saigon
that I
Kick.
think we should do honor David Allen Coe. We'll do David Allen Coe.
we got to.
We'll do Saigon Kick tomorrow.
All right, fair enough. Good damn,
Yeah,
I
we
didn't know
brought
you
in
had
a bunch.
him.
Yeah, we had a bunch of good national acts. I actually worked with Alex Cooley with a few bands that he was looking for a place to put a band, place that held 200 or 300 people, and we ended up doing a few shows with him. So
God,
what a great guy he was.
people don't realize, and that's what Jeff and I, and we'll have Peter Conlon on tomorrow. We do
Peter
In the
Conlon's
Green
a good
Room
guy.
with Peter Conlon. And for those of you that maybe just moved to Atlanta or maybe you've lived here 10 years, Alex Cooley and Peter Conlon were the promoters. It was Alex Cooley first. And Jeff, you brought up the fact it wasn't Pot Fest, but Pop,
The
P-O-P.
Atlanta Pop Festival in 1969 was before Woodstock. Similar thing out at Piedmont Park. A few months before Woodstock, I think Led Zeppelin played, Hendrix maybe, and then they did it in 1970, and then the city shut it down.
And Alex Cooley at the time, and Peter said you wouldn't believe the treasures he had because Janis Joplin and Jimi Hendrix could not stay in Atlanta hotels. They stayed at Alex's house not because he was black or she was great. It was rock.
I think if there's Jimi Hendrix, I think it was
Both?
because he was both, yeah.
But the rock thing, they didn't like the rock, so it's like he left a scarf. Janice left a ring. And now Alex has since gone on to rock and roll heaven. But I happened to be on with Alan A on 96 Rock, and I was a part of the Cooley show, and it was the Electric Ballroom with Alex Cooley. And that only lasted like 9-10 months on 96 Rock, and I did it. So the reason Jeff and I have Peter Conlon on, chairman of Live Nation Georgia, is as an homage to that.
Yeah. At the very end, I get a call one day from Alex Cooley. He called me up. He goes, I want to get a rock and roll tour bus, man. I want to travel the world. And I was like, wow, man. I thought it was an honor to get to work with him. So we started looking around, and we finally got him a bus. And
Really?
They took it and got everything done to it he wanted to get done to the coach, and helped him even get drivers. He found a female driver that was because his health was bad, and he found a female driver that could drive. Plus, she had nursing abilities. And basically, the morning they were going to pick him up to start that tour,
That's what he passed?
they never picked him up.
Oh, man.
Wow.
He saw the bus. He was in the
Oh,
bus. Matter of
man.
fact, he called me one day and he goes, "We have the bus over here, and the slide out is leaking like a sieve." And I had to stop what I was doing, and run over and get the slide to come in because they just got it and put it in place, but nobody was there to help him. So
Oh, man.
I ran over, and that's when he first got the bus. So we got that covered and did some damage, but he went up getting it going very, very well and was ready to rock and roll. And then I got the call that the driver was trying to get in touch with him and pick him up, and he'd passed away that night.
Damn.
Wow.
It's the saddest story.
What if we should
That is-
ask Peter about that?
You know what? That'd be
Yeah.
a good thing to talk to Peter about tomorrow, and I'll bring
Yeah.
you up. And
Yeah, he can. He should verify it because I remember
yeah.
the story, and it was like right at the time he was getting ready to start this
See the world, travel the world.
travel the
Travel
world.
the
country. Wow.
That's what he wanted to do.
So I'm sitting here in a room right now with a guy that played the last song on 96 Rock, the last employee, Jeff Cole. And now I'm with another guy who actually was in touch and dealing with Alex within the 24 hours he passed. It's so sad.
Yeah,
Such a shame.
I had not personally talked. I mean, I talked to him several times. It was about a 6-month adventure.
Mm-hmm.
So we talked a few times, and everything kind of come together. So best I can remember, right when they were getting ready to pick him up, I got the call saying they never picked him up.
Well, look at your ticket stubs. If they say Cooley Conlon, if you bought a ticket at Turtles, in the 80s and camped out, for anybody from Bon Jovi to Def Leppard to Journey to Bryan Adams, Loverboy, you name it. Some of the shows I saw all have their names on it, and we're keeping that alive right here on the Yeah Come On Show. Yeah Come On and Yeah Come On golf carts. Hey, it's Southside Steve with the Yeah Come On Show talking about one of our fantastic sponsors, and that would be North Atlanta Golf Carts. North Atlanta Golf Carts is located in Dawsonville off Highway 53 East, or you can go to Buford where they're located off Thompson Mill Road. Either way, they've got lots of brands for you. They've got Yamaha, they've got Club Car, and many others. Whatever you're looking for, they've got it, and they've been in business since 1997. When you get there, ask for Craig Riddle. He's the man. He'll be at one or two locations always during the day, and then ask for the Yeah Come On deal. He's already prepared to give you $500 off a used golf cart. So whether it's new to you or brand new, however you want to customize it, do you want it delivered? They've got parts, they've got accessories, and they work round the clock. Monday through Saturday, they're open. Sunday, they're closed. That's North Atlanta Golf Carts. Yeah, come on.
All right. Mike just informed me we're going to consider that Steve MZ and Politictainment together. One of our combos, because we talked Trump with Danny. And so we'll just get right into sports now.
Yeah, and sports is a quickie. Yeah, come on. Well, sports would have Skipper on. He is the service manager at Regal Nissan, located right there off of Holcomb Ridge Road at Georgia 400. Whether you drive an Infiniti or you drive a Nissan, that's where you go. That's Skipper right there. Ask for him by name. He is the service manager and a sports enthusiast. He is busy with the customers. So Southside Steve and Jeff with a splash of Danny on sports. Here we go. Drake May. We all saw this guy play a great quarterback position, maybe too young, too inexperienced, couldn't pull off the Super Bowl, but he was there. And that's a Patriot. I am a Atlanta Falcon fan. You're an Atlanta Falcon fan. You're an Atlanta Falcon fan.
Yes.
F the Patriots. I'm just going to say it. I'm not a fan. But I don't know where this comes in. The team is in a disarray over Vrabel's cheating scandal. And, so Vrabel, the coach, lineman for the Patriots for 8-10 years, goes to which Carolina team? Was it Tennessee Titans, I guess he was with?
Yeah, Titans.
I'm asking a guy that knows nothing about sports.
Yeah,
Jeff Cole.
That's Titans.
I can't believe I asked Jeff. Mike, I know. Titans, I got it. Our producer's in my ear going, Steve. I'm like, I got it. But for me, I don't know where I stand with this. I kind of think you got to stay out of people's personal lives. I don't think she lost her job, the reporter that he hooked up with. They were seen kissing. That's all we know. Nobody saw him having sex. But he's married, got kids. He's the coach, and he's one of those dudes, Danny. And I know how you preach in your business. You're like, look, you're representing me. All your drivers. Hell, you've got 60-something drivers. Right. You're like, you represent me. You act accordingly. You don't do this. You don't do that. You're ready to go, and you act appropriate. And here, this is a guy that preaches it to these guys going, hey, man, you got millions. Don't be an idiot. Don't do this. Don't drink. Don't party. Be disciplined. Be family. If you've got a wife, be there. That's what he preaches.
That's what he preaches. And unfortunately, he got caught. And he has to probably pay the consequences for that. I mean, if he didn't have a wife, it'd be one thing. But
yeah,
the wife and kids. And
it's brutal.
I don't know much about it. I've seen a little bit. I'm not too much anymore. I don't watch a lot of news or TV, anything like that. It's always so negative.
I know. It is.
Trump is such a bad guy.
You're like, really? I know him. He's okay.
Red man or whatever they call him.
Orange
man bad and all this. I'm into watching all kind of series and things like that now.
Good for you. Do what I do. Watch Yellowstone again, or watch. I'm watching Landman again.
Oh, you watching Landman again?
I am. I started all over watching it again.
That's my next one, Landman.
You never seen it?
Not yet.
Oh, you're in for a treat. 2 seasons. You got 2 seasons to watch. So, and you'll be hooked from the first one.
Matter of fact, you have an assignment now that you're an advertiser. You have an assignment. You have to watch that. I want to get feedback from you, and you could be on the show as early as in the next 2 weeks. And I know your son's going to come on. So, damn it, I want to know what you think about Landman.
I like to they're over, then I can watch 3 or 4 episodes at a time.
Well, there you go. You're smart. Yeah. But I will say Drake May and the team are behind him. They're like, we love you, coach. They're not judging. They're trying to save the dude's job. I don't think the Patriots, what do you do if you're Kraft? Robert Kraft's like, okay, I already had a tight end that was a murderer.
And he himself got into some trouble.
Yeah. So it's like, what do you do? So I don't know. But the quick question is to both of you for sports, because it's a quickie. Athletes, rock stars, do we cancel them when they do something that's not moral? Or do we that's between you, your wife? We care about how you're coaching the team, what you're saying. Now, his message, there might be players going, oh, so it's okay for you to cheat, but not me, coach? I mean, that could happen. But what do you think?
You could have that. I think he's probably going to stay the coach.
Yeah.
He's a good coach. I think he's got to deal with his wife and the problem with explaining to his kids. Oof. That's going to be tough. And I would say I'm 50-50 on it. As far as I think he'll probably stay, and then whatever happens will happen. It's times are a little different now than they were.
Right.
So people see things a little different. But bottom line, I'm
50-50.
I'm 50-50 on
What
that.
about you,
I
Jeff?
say keep it personal. Keep it, as long as he's doing his job, this is a personal matter.
Yeah.
That's where I am.
Well, guess what? He went to a thing with Patriot fans that had been scheduled. He showed up to face the music, standing ovation by Patriot fans.
So I think people are, as long as they like him, hey, that's his personal business.
There you go.
Yeah, but I got to tell you, Travis Kelce, if I see you at an event, I'm probably going to boo you because you're under the Taylor Swift thumb. And you backed COVID, right, Jeff? Shouldn't I mention that?
Yeah, and that's why we support Aaron Rodgers.
That's why we like Aaron Rodgers, because he did not. Yeah. He went against COVID and said, "You're not putting the needle in my arm." And Jeff, people, I'll bring it up since we're kind of political today. Jeff left the river because you wouldn't take the shot.
That's right.
97.1.
I thought I was going to have a whole bunch of people marching out of the building with me, but no. So anyone you hear at Cox, no disrespect, they took the shot.
Right,
otherwise, they wouldn't be there.
We need the clip. We're gonna go. We're streaking through the quad. Come on.
Yeah,
we need that scene
because that's what I thought was going to happen.
That's what you did, and you got out in the parking lot and go, "Wait,
I'm the only one.
I'm the only one."
And you hopefully,
yeah, go ahead.
And hopefully, maybe you're not having a lot of symptoms like a lot of people are having that took that shot.
Yeah, right.
I did.
Yeah.
I did.
I'm totally clean.
It stinks.
All right, let's do our track 13. Brought to you by Smalls.
Smalls Sliders, and I'm going to let you take a peek. We did the grand opening 2 weeks ago, maybe 3 weeks ago. They were literally handing out Smalls orange sliders. You know, the sliders that all the kids wear.
They look like Crocs.
They look like Crocs, but they're open-toed. And they've got shirts. They do gimmicks. We're going to appear there probably on their 1 month anniversary just to do a live show in that parking lot. That is off Windy Hill, just before Cobb Parkway. And it's a great spot for those guys. And we were just talking about Dixie Tavern. It's right there next to where the Dixie Tavern was, same shopping center.
Yeah, I was there Saturday night for Billy and the Jets, and great crowd. It kind of reminded me of the old Charlie Magruders.
Yes.
And I hadn't been there in a long time, but yeah, I went in and it was a big crowd. Got to see a great band and had a good time, you know.
Danny, you might work your way into a Smalls Sliders card, because if you're coming in as a major sponsor like Exit Wealth, I think I can get you one of those. We are representing all of the small sliders that this group is opening. They're going to open 10 over the next 6 to 7 months.
Wow!
And and let me tell you, when you leave Dixie Tavern, nothing against them. Go for the entertainment, have some cocktails, but this you used to eat Crystal, didn't you, after a night of drinking?
Of course.
All right, this blows Crystal away. And White Castle for you Northerners. It is one of the best burgers I've ever had. And you get 1, 2, 3, 4 sliders, or you can get the big sliders. I forget what they call it. I just went blank.
I can't wait to get there.
But it's killing me, Smalls. You're killing me, Smalls. But there you go.
So in honor of David Allen Coe passing away and playing Californias in Sandy Springs back in that's got to be 1993.
Were you there that 92? Night that David played your bar?
Yeah.
You met him and talked to him and everything? And was
probably did. I'm not sure if he even played the Rec Room at one time. I tell you, those are some fuzzy days, but we had a lot of bands play there. He might have played the Rec Room.
He probably, it sounds like, because he didn't play big venues for the past 20, 30 years.
He played the Rec Room.
All right, I got to ask you, I'm sorry, I got to get personal for 1 second. I'm going to ask you too. Back in the day when you were drinking, there was a lot of things that people got into. What was your drink? This would have been the 70s or 80s?
Yeah, it'd have been.
What was your drink of choice? What did Danny drink that Danny doesn't remember David Allen Coe?
Well, I've never been that heavy of a drinker.
What did you smoke that you didn't remember David Allen Coe? No, or is it just the years?
I did smoke a little weed. Now, I drink bourbon and Coke, bourbon and ginger ale.
We're bumping. We're bumping.
You know,
Bam.
Always, back in those days, to me, bourbon and Coke, and then it was a fling I went through for a little while. I was drinking White Russians. I drink those at Charlie Magruder's.
Damn, Danny, we do the same.
Yeah, double vodka with 1 shot of Kahlua and some milk.
Little milk, make your strong bones.
Yes, so.
God.
But I've just never. My times of drinking and having fun is like on the Chattahoochee. Remember back in the day when we did the '96 Rock down the hooch?
Shoot the Hooch. That was actually with Z93. We did it Z93 back in the day. We talked about that.
Or Quixie.
Well, no, Quixie. Was it Quixie?
Yeah.
We're all getting
would be
it
the
wrong.
big one. The big rambling raft race would have been Quixie days.
Now people did do knockoffs. I think 96 Rock. We did do it, but we did it with ducks. We let people number and we just threw them all in the water.
Yeah.
You know, but I just those I like to drink on like if you're floating down the river, deep sea fishing, you know, doing something fun. I don't sit around and drink at night at home
and talk about your woes.
I like dark beer, so I drink different types of dark beer. You know, Murphy's, Guinness, my 2 favorite probably. I've just never been a big drinker, but I have to say I just started smoking pot when I was 13 years old. So I grew up a hippie, and I think pot now is a good thing for medical. I don't smoke pot very much anymore. I will if I'm in an event and somebody goes, like a concert.
Yeah, Jeff does heroin, and I'm like, stop.
It just don't do much for me anymore. I guess I'm 70. I'll be 72 this year. So
you look good.
As you get older, those kind of things go away, and drinking definitely went away. I hardly ever drink at all.
Well,
I drink your.
He likes come on.
Yeah.
And matter of fact, I got to get you more of that. Come on. I got to get you a couple bottles on the house. I think I can pull that. I need you to have it personally and quit giving it away. I need you to drink it at your house. Jeff, what was your drink of choice?
I'm a beer drinker.
Always, even in the 80s?
Beer and wine, yeah. Beer and wine.
And I'll tell you, 80s, I got sucked into the lime and the Mexican.
Margaritas?
No, the beer.
Corona.
And then,
Corona with lime.
And I'm a very shallow person. When I heard the rumor that the Mexicans were peeing in it, I quit drinking it.
I heard the same thing.
I quit. I stopped. That's when I went full bourbon.
In the 70s, I think I was gin and tonic guy.
You were too young.
Yeah, that's too young for me. Yeah. And I don't like gin. I don't like gin.
Well, we were just trying to find out what everybody partied and went. Again, Danny owning the Rec Room and Jeffy owned California's. He booked this guy probably both places. We lost him, I guess, in the past 24 hours. Nobody said what the cause of death is. It could just be not waking up. He's 86.
It was 86. So what track do you want to do? I'm not too familiar, but I know he's got like some catchy song titles. That was kind of his thing.
You Never Called Me By My Name is where I would probably go.
That was a big one for me. He had all his catchy songs.
And you know why? Because I don't know about you, but I've had relations with girls and I did not know their name.
Those are
I've
good.
Played rounds of golf with guys that I never knew their name.
I've been there with you, Steve.
Yes, I know. He's been there with me on both.
All right, so we'll end the show there. You can watch the video, listen to the song description, or link is in the description. It is David Allan Coe.
I have been to a NASCAR race.
Yes. I just want to thank our guest here. This is Danny Hamilton. He's a huge sponsor of the Yeah Come On show. Star Coaches. Go to starcoaches.com or go to rapstarusa.com. Wrap anything from your motorcycle to your boat to your older car to a car for your kid. Make it look good, and it'll look better than paint. Jeff, I'll let you run us through some David Allan Coe.
David Allan Coe, You Never Call Me By My Name, ending the Yeah Come On show.